guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on a new palette, and this one is another one of the holiday edition palettes. This one is the Tarte Light of the Party palette, and it does look like this. This is the box, just in case you look for it at the store. This is the way that it's going to look if you want it. By the way, before I even get started, I am wearing some very bright lips, so hopefully it's not distracting. I just felt like wearing purple today, guys, and it is the NYX Liquid Suede in the color Amethyst, just in case you're wondering, which I don't know how many of you would like to wear a color like this, but today I'm feeling it. So this is the palette. This is the way that it looks. It is the sequin one. I know they have a box that has glitter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's glitter, but I decided to get this one just because the other one didn't catch my attention as much. Anyways, I felt like this one caught my attention the most. So this one does have a pattern of just, you know, triangles, black, gold, orange, as you can see there, and it does have a zipper as the way for you to open it. So whenever you open it up, it does look like this. Let me try not to drop it. It has a palette up here, and behind the palette there is a mirror. I would say that this is one of the negatives of it, but it doesn't have anything to do with the colors, so it's just a packaging type of negative. You do take this out, and I did keep the little sticker there. I don't know how long that's going to last to hold it in, but as you can see, that is a very big mirror. So you do get a mascara, which is the Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. It does have a double-ended brush, which I think feels pretty good. I just haven't tried it because I keep forgetting to use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with this small palette, and it does come with the bronzer. It doesn't have a mirror. It does come with the bronzer, with the blush, and with 6 eyeshadows, and then you also get a highlight. And I am wearing the bronzer today. I'm also wearing the blush as well as the highlight, which looks really nice. I like the way that it looks. I hope you can see it. And then you get 6 colors to make a look with if you want to take it on the go. I feel like this is very neutral, and just anybody can wear these colors and it'll match with anything that you're wearing on that day. So to me, this is a great little palette to take with you. Stick it in your makeup bag, stick it in your purse, and you can go. Right, so I went ahead and I put this back just so it won't blind you. But you do get 24 colors in here, which to me they all seem very neutral. So I feel like Tarte comes out with their holiday palettes with a lot of neutral colors, and I am going to show you another palette if you can see it back there, but I'm going to compare it just to kind of show you what they came out with last year. So the colors that I used in the other look were Eggnog to set my primer, my eyeshadow primer, and then I used Peach on Earth as a transition color, which I really loved. It warms up your look and it has a lot of pigmentation. I do like that one. And then I tried to use this one right here. It's a cool brown, and it's called Party Favorite. I tried to use that one as my crease shade to deepen up the colors, but it didn't work out. It was way too light for that. It doesn't have a lot of pigmentation, so I didn't use that one. I ended up using it kind of as a transition color right below the orange one, or the warm one. And then what I did is I put this color right here where it's called Baby It's Gold Outside as my lid color. And that one I did like, although I did have to put it on about 2 or 3 layers so it can really show up the gold that I wanted, or the intense of the gold that I wanted. And then I ended up having to use hot chocolate so it could deepen up the look. So pretty much what I wanted to do with this one didn't work out, so I ended up using this one right here. And I love the way it turned out. I also used this one on my lower lash line, and I love how smoky it looked. I just really liked the look whenever I did it with those colors. And then I ended up using It's Snow Time in the inner corner, and also as a brow bone highlight. Colors that I used today were this row, which is more of a purple toned row. I did use this one, however, to set the base of my primer. I keep wanting to say the base of my primer. I used this one to set my primer, and then I used this one as a highlight for my brow bone area in my inner corner, but it didn't really work out because it doesn't show up. It showed up a little bit just glittery, so I ended up having to use this one in the end. I did use this one right here for the transition color, and then I used this one to deepen up my look, just make it dark, kind of smoky, and then I used this one for my lid color. So I pretty much tried to do the same look that I did over here, except I did it with the plum shades, and this one is so glittery and powder. You will get fallout for sure, and I just had to put it on a lot of times, but the glitter or the shimmer did not really stick onto my eye. So on the lid area, it's pretty much this color without a lot of glitter. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. I have to say that a lot of these colors are good, but at the same time, some of them aren't as pigmented as they should be. And I would say that it is more of a neutral palette. So if you're someone who wants to wear everyday looks, but still can make them into night looks or into deeper tones, then I would say this palette is for you. If you already have a lot of neutral palettes, then I would just say skip out on this one just because you already have a lot. This pretty much has the same thing. You would get a lot of highlights, and this is just the way that I see it. You get a lot of highlight colors, a lot of shimmery highlight colors. Maybe you can use on the brow bone, on the inner corner, pretty much like what I did. And then you do get some very nice transition colors. And then you do get this whole bottom row that has a lot of mattes, which I did like. I haven't used a lot of these, pretty much just this brown one and the plum shade one, which is a deep plum, and that's the one that I'm wearing in the crease area today. So I am going to show you last year's palette that I did get. I don't know if it's going to be a very good comparison, but that's not the point. The point is just me wanting to show you how neutral the palette was from last year. So last year's palette, the one that I got was this one, and what I like about this one, which I didn't mention, but the big palette on the bottom, you cannot take it out. So just know that the 24 shades that are in here have to stay in there. You can't take those out. What I did like about last year's is that you can open it up the same way with the zipper, and it had a plastic where the palette was, well, I believe the palette was up here, and then down here you've got some lip surgeons, a mascara, and I think a blush. Yeah, it was like a little blush cream stick. So that's what you got down here, but you were able to take out the plastic and use this just as a makeup bag, which I have. And then you also get your palette in this one. So I'm just going to show you the shades. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that last year's palette does come with the names on the plastic, which I really appreciate them putting it or printing it on the palette this year because it's quite annoying to keep the little plastic. I like to keep it just because I do tutorials and I like to have the name of the shades, but if you just want to have the names, you have to keep the plastic, which is what I did. So this is last year's palette. Again, you get neutrals, you get the dark or the cool tones, you also get the plummy colors. So I hope you're able to see that, but you can tell that the colors are very similar from last year's. Like all of these on the bottom, you can find a similar one in this one. This doesn't have as many shades, but what I'm saying is that a lot of them are pretty similar. So if you have last year's, I would say you don't really need this one unless you're just gonna give it away or something, maybe for a gift. For a gift, I would say it's good just because not everybody loves bright, fun colors, and you never know what that person is gonna wear. At least you know that with a palette like this, they can wear any of them. You know, it's browns, it's neutrals, it'll work. But I'm just saying that if you have last year's and you feel like, should I get this one, should I not? Well, I don't necessarily think you need it if you already have one of these. I feel like Tarte has a lot of neutral tones in their palettes, in their holiday palettes as well, because I've seen their regular palettes like the Tartelette, and again, it's a lot of mattes, it's a lot of neutrals. So that is pretty much it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it informative. I forgot to mention, but this is $60, just so you know. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see on Beauty News, and also I still have a few other things that I want to show you for the holiday stuff. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.